Navi versus Ents, leaving everybody on the edge of their chairs here in the Spodek and certainly at home as well. My name is Trace Ranthus. I'll be taking over the reins for the rest of what is this afternoon's matches. We only have one more coming your way, and it's going to be one that you can't miss. And, well, you guys won't be missing it, that's for sure, as I do have Vince and Moses here. Not Moses and Jason O'Toole. There was some sort of clerical error yesterday. Had them all confused. Either way, hell of a game we just watched, guys.
Yeah, that certainly was. That was a wild ride. Those are the games that make you really enjoy. Like only the major can really deliver that. It feels like even the biggest events cannot get that kind of emotion or that kind of excitement behind it. So that was so sick. And I think the conversation around Ents, I don't think we can ask the question anymore if they can perform on a big stage. I think they were not finally, but they've proven it in a big way.
Yeah, I mean, Liquid, now Na'Vi. And the fact of the matter is, in the finals, they're either playing, as I think the desk said, either the first seed in Astralis or MIBR, who are fourth. Like this is as legit a run as you can ask for. And these guys have run the gauntlet. They've been here since the minor.
They have been put to the test. I mean, every step of the turn here for these guys has had to be some sort of proving ground almost. And for everything considered, Jason, I mean, these guys were the big underdogs coming in overall, but now that they found themselves here, that whole narrative kind of has to take a shift.
I think the best thing that could have happened to Ents, and I think the real turning point was when they went down 0-2 in the Legend stage. The fact that they had to have that pressure on their back of going out in the major and win all those series just to move on to the top 8. I think that, like, having to thrive in that pressure and just barely cling on kind of equipped them to trust each other as teammates a little bit more and obviously deal with the pressure of the crowds and the chanting and the stage and everything like that.
Which is a talking point on its own, because just looking inside of the Spodek and listening to this crowd roar for Ents, could you have even seen that coming no matter the outcome of any of the matches?
I guess to a degree, because people do love to cheer for the underdog. And when it comes to Ents, they have a whole nation behind them.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a while since Finland have been able to really get behind a team. Obviously, you've had Alus played in like FaZe, NiP, etc. You've got Sunny on Mouse Sports. But this is a full Finnish roster with a Natu at the helm, you know, Finnish legend in Counter-Strike. So you can definitely see why so many people get behind this team and root for them.
Well, we got two other powerhouses stepping to the stage now, and it will be MIBR or Astralis going on into that grand final to play against Ents. It's almost hard to let that roll off the tongue at this point, because it's like, is this reality, or, you know, where are we now?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think that they've made it all the way here. This MIBR Astralis game on paper has to be, at this stage in a major, has to be like one of the most exciting games you can possibly have on paper. You've got championship pedigree on both sides. You've got, I think, 2 trophies for each of the cores of these teams, which is pretty awesome going head to head. Some of the best players between Device and Coldzera top rated for this event as well. So I mean, there's just a million things going on in this next match, and this can deliver in such a massive way. This can deliver. It's crazy to think, but across 3 maps, this game can deliver even more than what Ents and Navi gave us.
We talk about explosions. We talk about an explosive gameplay in front of us. Vince, what should we be looking out for here, man?
I wish I had an answer for you, man, because I think coming through into this game, it is going to be incredibly unpredictable. That has been the one predictable part of this major, is the unpredictability.
Yeah.
And now we're through to the semifinals. We've had an MIBR that looked shaky, but then they returned up towards the end. They're kind of hitting their peak. So I think this actually puts this match in a really interesting position.
And a lot of the conversation around MIBR was, you know, even towards the end of last year was, I remember when Yanko was still coaching them, when YNK was still behind him, saying Astralis was the one team they really didn't do a whole lot of prep for, because Fallen felt so confident in how he's able to read what they're doing. That was one team where Fallen was just like, I don't want you to do the background work because I have my own ideas in my head, and he's very confident. And they played him very close through all that turmoil and all that lineup that they couldn't find a way to make it work against other opponents, still able to challenge Astralis. So this is going to be really, really interesting. And as Vince said, I think this MIBR team, as they've played deeper into this event, we've seen them get better every step of the way. And as they get more confidence, they're going to get more deadly.
Well, the spicy meatballs will continue to be delivered here in Katowice, but first and foremost, I need to go ahead and kick it over to Frankie. She's got something planned for us. Let's check it out.
I do indeed. I've been investigating the Danish corner here in the Spodek. Now, of course, they are behind Astralis. There we go. Right on cue. And I found their ringleader, Nils. Nils, how are you finding the major so far?
I'm pretty excited. I guess Astralis is just going to have some training now and then be ready for tomorrow's game.
And there is a big hint as to who your favorite player from Astralis is on your right.
Yeah.
We can actually see it's Dupree, and why is that?
I used to play a bit of Source back in the day with Dupree, and then I just kept continuing him and his career. And obviously he did the right thing, and I did not, because I'm only a legendary Eagle Master, and he's a pro.
Well, to be honest, at least you get to sit here and cheer for him with so many people. You know more people here than I've probably met in my lifetime, so I'm quite jealous of your social prowess, Nils. But what do you think the result is going to be today? Because MIBR, they weren't pulling punches yesterday.
I think it's going to be a close match because they have a really good map pool, both teams. But I think in the end, Astralis is going to win 2-0.
Ooh, fighting talk. Fighting talk indeed. Have we got any MIBR fans in here who beg to differ? I think Astralis might not have won it just yet. But actually, Nils, do you want to show me your bicep? Do you want to... Should we have a little... Here we go, Nils. Here we go. Show us your biceps. That's quite an impressive thing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, get your biceps out. No, he doesn't have any biceps. He's only got triceps. And he's got fabulous head. Oh, hello. He's got 2 biceps. Very impressive. Nice. Great ink as well. And he's got a tash. Yes! Let's have it, come on! Ooh, that's bigger than my head. He's more of a leg man. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's back to us. Should we get our biceps out, everyone? Let's get fighting, because coming up very shortly indeed, it's going to be MIBR versus Astralis.
The champions of ESL 1 Cologne.
Do you remember?
Welcome!
Well, here we are, and I think the biceps can't stop there, but unfortunately I can't ask you guys, as in Sean Gares and Pimp.
I would hate to rip through this.
Yeah, I mean, Sean, you're a pretty tough guy, pretty strong guy. I know that would be a real detriment to your wardrobe. Sort of like the wardrobe that you might all be wearing at home, whether you find yourself on the MIBR side or the Astralis side of this. I'm sure that this one will deliver a very, very powerful punch from the biceps indeed. Now, this is going to be a semifinal, I believe, to remember for the ages, boys.
I think so. We have some of the best players in the world showing up on the server. We have the best team showing up on the server as well. Astralis looking good as ever before. MIBR yesterday, I think we all were a little bit surprised. They're getting into the semifinal now. 2 days ago, they're able to be Renegades 2-0, and I think it's the team that is growing every single match. So this one should be the big test for them. Are they able to do anything against Astralis? It's going to be a good question.
Yeah, what I love seeing about these two teams is Cold is back in form.
Yeah.
This is the Cold that we saw when MIBR, back then SK and Luminosity, went on their major runs. He's the second highest statistically rated player at this event, only behind Device. So, I mean, we literally have the 2 best performers going up head-to-head here.
Adding on to that, you have Fer right now, who's playing up to some of his best capabilities as well. He's a guy that is a little bit of an unsung hero right now, I would say, for MIBR. He's definitely having a good tournament. We haven't seen him in a while have that impact that we normally know him to have, but he's been very good at entry fracking. He's been very impactful. He's been very aggressive, and I think that keyword right there is going to be something MIBR needs in this matchup against Astralis.
Yeah, and Astralis being the big, tough opponent that everyone's afraid of now, trying to just find themselves against an Ints in the finals. We've already had a day of upsets and turbulence, trials and tribulations. That's enough tease for one day, I think.
Yeah, I can't even.
It's weird. Just say it out loud.
How didn't we all think Ents was like a meme a year ago? And here they are in the major finals, and they're incredible. They're literally playing the best Counter-Strike I've seen so far at the major.
Yeah, well, they're no longer a meme, actually. They're done for what it's worth. I think that one played out just well. Easy for Ints, and, well, they will be in the grand final. Now, of course, we do have to determine who joins them. MIBR versus Astralis will be the matchup of the hour, and it's going to be a best of 3 for the ages. I think it's about time that we just jump right into this one and take a look as to where we're going.
We are living a different moment in Counter-Strike, like the game has been played a little bit different than it was before. So there's some adjusting that needs to be made. And also the team has to grow again, like the team has to grow with every match, with every competition. And being completely honest, of course, we're not the best team in the world right now. There's other teams competing better than us and they have been together for more time than us. So we need to go through this process. We need to play against them a couple of times. We need to lose and win some. So in order to do that, we have to be playing the competitions and keep our heads high, because we know how to do it, and we're going to do it again. The fact that we didn't play together for a long time kind of showed up on this first match. The fact that they play a very well match as well, like the way they were playing, and it took us a little bit off guard, because Counter-Strike, mainly on the practice nowadays, people are really looking for fights and really challenging a lot during those games, and we have been practicing for like 20 days together. So Cloud9 kind of played a game where they're not facing us that much. They are kind of being smart with their utility and being smart with the decisions they're taking. So in fact, we kind of lost a lot of time waiting for aggressions that never came and stuff like that inside the match. So combined with some situations that we could have won, and a couple moments of a lot of nervousness, I would say, made us make some mistakes in the game. They have a superior match than us, so we kind of approached it that we had to do a better job on the next one, and I think it's naturally the pressure starts going off match by match, and we start doing a better job. To develop as a team during a competition is not so hard. What you have to do is pay attention to why did you lose or how did you win, and what can be done better for the next matches, and make sure you take something positive from every single encounter you have with another teams, and that's what we have always been doing, and we did it here again.
It's been a long path for both of these teams. Actually, only one hiccup on the side of Astralis, having dropped a map to the Renegades of all suspects here of the major. A Renegades that did come out here surprising everyone, but for everything considered, let's talk a little bit about Astralis and how much they've saved face here. They haven't had to show a whole lot.
No, and that's the thing with Astralis, right? They come in really prepared to this tournament. They haven't really been tested so far in the tournament as well. Astralis seems to be better than ever. I gotta say it. The players are showing up. You said it as well. Device currently the highest rated player in the tournament. So everything just seems to click for Astralis right now. So I'm having a tough time seeing where is it MIBR is gonna punish them.
See, that's the one thing that is interesting about MIBR is they're typically good at the maps that Astralis tries to stay away from. So that's where they have an edge in this series, in my opinion. But yeah, like you said, this Astralis we've seen is right up there with the best Astralis we've seen.
I mean, we're talking about an Astralis that has actually 16-0'd a team here on land, and almost did it yesterday as well. Almost. You could just see the happiness coming out from the NIP side, just grabbing one round there. I mean, we're talking about a dominant team here.
Yeah, I mean, Xyp9x is in top form, winning clutches left and right, using the AUG to perfection. So is Magic's boy. Drop the boy, he doesn't like that. So is Magic. Just AUGing around connector on Mirage. Honestly, they're doing everything right. You watch them strategically on CT side, the way they move around the map is so well thought out. Their utility usage still as on point as ever.
And OJ did ask about bringing the band back together, and well, this is another story of that. MIBR, Coldzera, Fur, Phelps, Fallen, and Taco. Now, they've had to come back together, also bringing in Zeus, and now we see them in front of us in the semifinals. Let's talk about the MIBR side.
That's an interesting storyline, though, because Zeus have a lot of first-hand experience going up against Astralis in very important matchups. Let's not forget that he came from Liquid, which is a team that have played, I think, 6 or 7 finals against Astralis. So he is prepared for this team a lot of times. Now, he wasn't able to get it done with Liquid, down to the fact that maybe Liquid weren't really a team that was set up to beat Astralis in many areas. But with MIBR, he has different tools to work with. He has a Fallen, he has a Phelps, he has an ultra-aggressive Fur, he have Coldzera, one of the best players in the world. Maybe this will be the time where Zeus actually have the key to win against Astralis.
I definitely think Zeus is a big part of this MIBR team and how they function. But just looking at that Fallen interview, I mean, it's so obvious to me how amazing of an in-game leader he is, and just a leader of the team, you know?
Right.
He can spot deficits in his team and fix them. He's not afraid to say what's wrong. He's not afraid to say they're not the best team in the world, and he doesn't give his players false confidence, which is something that I think is really important.
And the thing about Fallen, I mean, you talk about him being this in-game leader. We talk about Zeus having this loud, boisterous manner about him as a sort of leader outside of the game. Brazil has proven time and time again that they are a fiery bunch down there when things start to turn one way or the other.
They sure are, and they play on those emotions, right? But so does Astralis. I mean, the most terrifying player I have ever played with was Glaive. I mean, I wouldn't dare say anything against him because he would just rip your head off if you tried to. So let's not forget that Fallen is going up against probably the best in-game leader in the entire world, which is Glaive. So there's definitely a lot of mind games going on in this game.
I mean, we're talking about 2 problem solvers driving here on opposite ends of the roadway, because these guys, for everything that they're able to do within these crunch moments. This is how they adapt. This is how they come together, and that's why they're so successful on both sides.
Exactly. It's just Glaive is doing it a little bit later than what Fallen did. Fallen innovated the game so much in 2016, 2017. I mean, now the Glaive 2018 had the best year probably of any player ever.
Yeah.
Well, we could talk about teams and players and storylines, this, that, and the other, or we could let them do the talking themselves. We're going to take a deeper look into who is Fallen, what's going on in the MIBR camp, and you know who's going to be there with him? It's going to be Phelps.
Bringing Zeus, Taco, and Phelps back, the approach to the game didn't change much on how we played this before. They kind of grew up in the same Counter-Strike school that we did. Like we understood the game the same way since the beginning. So it's easier to understand some of the ideas we have going through the rounds and taking the decisions. And with the Americans, it was a different history because they would think on some occasions differently than we would. And it doesn't mean that one is better than the other, but it's just different. And in the game, normally you want everyone on the same page. You want everyone doing something with the same purpose at the same timing, which is something very important in Counter-Strike. Having Phelps into the team, it's great again. And I think Phelps changed a lot since the last time we were together. And he had some time to be even leading his last team, so he was trying to learn some captain skills and trying to lead the team to victories. And I think that helped him develop some different ideas about the game as well. And Phelps initially was a very aggressive player. He kind of mirror himself on the way Fair played the game before, like taking those duels, being the decisive player for the team. And when he had to play for us, he had to completely change his gameplay because you just can't have two players doing the same role into the team, and he had to assemble himself into different ideas. And nowadays, what I see from Phelps is he's kind of doing what Mages did for Astralis, like filling the role on whatever the team needs. And I feel that he's much more comfortable doing those things now. Like I can see from this early experience on those practices before the major that some of the positions he would hate before, now he really has a good feeling playing on it. He really understands what he has to do, and he's really learning something new every game and studying opponents and getting to know how to perform better. So I'm very excited about what Phelps can do to this team because he's a key piece for the team, and if Phelps plays well, it means we're going to have a better chance to win every time.
And don't let that confuse you, because just as the numbers shown there for Phelps weren't necessarily the strongest of strong, but they certainly have impact. This is a team that is very, very core-centric. This is a team that definitely know how to play off each other.
Yeah, that's the scary thing about this MIBR team is I think Phelps is one of the most skilled players left in this tournament. Whenever I played against Phelps, he had so much impact. He can lurk behind you. His aim is very snappy, but he hasn't really shown that to us yet so far in this event, which leads me to believe that MIBR has a lot they can show.
I definitely agree. I think there's a fair case to be made that when you look at the players pound for pound between Astralis and MIBR, you could maybe even argue that MIBR has more skill when it comes down to talent on the team. Obviously, there's no doubt that Astralis is the better team. They have more team play, better at utilizing the utility and utilizing each other. But when it comes down to raw skill on the server, MIBR can definitely match Astralis.
Which is a scary concept, because we could have a pound for pound all-out brawl here across 3 maps, which is what we need to deliver to you right now. We do have the vetoes. We're going to start flying those in. I'm going to let you guys do a little theory striking over here.
So this is why I said MIBR has such a good chance against Astralis compared to other teams, is because they like playing maps like Train, Mirage, and Overpass, and they play Cash, which is Astralis' permaban. So they have a great veto and a great opportunity to get an edge on 2 maps in this series.
And that's the interesting prospect coming into this veto. Now, we see them pick Overpass, and that's actually very surprising to me, because when you look at the options MIBR could have gone with, Dust 2 yesterday didn't look too good for Astralis. MIBR have shown that they're good on Dust 2. Now, they could also pick Mirage, which is a map that Astralis have shown weaknesses on. Now, they're going with Overpass, which means that they are either insanely confident themselves in Overpass,
or insane,
or they've seen some complex in Astralis.
That's the thing is, I think Astralis is still living on their old reputation on Overpass. They're not the team on Overpass that we saw, you know, in early 2018, 2017. This team probably thinks Overpass is their worst map out of the 6 remaining from Cash.
Which is a weird thing when it comes down to the veto process, Jacob.
It is a map that lost to Team Liquid against Team Liquid in the iBuy Power tournament. I also believe they lost to Na'Vi 3 months ago when they were playing the Pro League finals or something along those lines. So as you said, it is a map that used to be the absolute best for Astralis, but it's a map that nobody wanted to play against them. And now, for a certain time, nobody have been daring to play Overpass against them. And all of a sudden, MIBR comes in with this pocket pick and picks it into them. This could be very scary for Astralis.
It could be scary. scary. And again, they're going to be escaping the nuke that nobody wants to hang around with Astralis on. In fact, in the first map of Overpass, it's going to be Astralis starting on the CT side. Guys, this bode a very strong start. We're going to get an early taste as to what MIBR is working with and getting the engines cranked up properly.
That's the thing. I think MIBR needs to somehow pull out 5 to 6 rounds on their T side because Device is so good at the A bomb site. He is very good at going for those aggressive party picks, switching up, going long A, even upping in the connector sometimes. Now, I don't think Astralis' T side is as strong, and everyone remembers those nades at the B bomb site and eggs X towards the B bomb site. Honestly, it doesn't work as much as you think it does. Yes, those nades are strong. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm glad we brought up Fer, because when we switch over to the CT side for MIBR, him and Fallen are going to be the 2 key players for them, especially Fer. I think we all remember back in the days when he was dominating the toilet area all by himself, always pushing towards A-long, always pushing toilets, making room for his teammates. Fer needs to have a great game on the CT side if they want to put a stop to Astralis' strong T side.
And that is a very interesting aspect we haven't even begun to touch on yet, is that Fer aggression that he's so known for. And when he can push and find those kills, it normally equates to a round win there from the MIBR side. But if he's punished early on, if he starts to back off of that, that is where they're going to find themselves kind of pushed against a wall.
It did seem a bit dated, having someone like Fer or Rain go super aggressive at the A bomb site on Overpass, and that's why you hadn't seen these 2 teams, play a lot of Overpass. So I hope they come with a little bit of a refined strategy, something different, because I think Astralis will definitely be ready for Fer's aggression.
I definitely agree, and that's where another interesting fact comes into this matchup. These 2 teams are good at the same stuff, right? Astralis, the best team in the tournament, at playing ahead 5 versus 4. The best team in the tournament at playing 4 versus 5, but so is MIBR. Very good at playing 5 versus 4 situations, very good at playing 4 versus 5. So these 2 teams does the same thing well. The problem for MIBR is Astralis does it a little bit better.
Right. Well, I mean, there's nothing else to be said at this point. Let's go ahead and jump into what is the second semifinal of the day, MIBR versus Astralis. Let's do it now.
It's coming. Here we go. It's all on Zipnix and Device.
Zipnix with the Orb, tailor-made. It's going to be getting 3 with a spray. Single-handedly stops the push.
Well, I think Astralis is like the best team in the world right now, but we are here to prove like we can beat them. So we are prepared for them, and it's going to be like a good revenge. And every time they face us, they don't play their game. I don't know why. I think they fear a little bit. So we're going to play our game and focus in our game.
So the dangerous part is because there are like 5 really crazy Brazilians. They can all go really ham and they can all be really good players. But the exciting part is that they are this new team and they have been playing before together and it worked out really well for them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the match.
But in general, like they have a good team play as well. So they're like a tier 1 team, like the best team in the world. So they are good like in everything. But I think like against us, they like choke a little bit and they don't play their game. They like a game. So we're gonna like take advantage from that and we're gonna smash them.
The strength is that we are always actually having really good games against them. I feel like we always play a good game ourselves when we play against them. So hopefully that will happen tomorrow. And if that happens, I believe we'll go out as victorious.
Well, play here in Poland in Spodek Arena is always amazing. It's like my 4th or 5th time playing here, and it's always amazing. Like the crowd is really insane, and the Brazilian crowd is here as well. They make some noise.
That crowd was just crazy. It felt amazing to just be there and feeling the atmosphere. I hope they will cheer for us tomorrow, but we'll see about that.
Time for semi-final number 2 here in Katowice, the Intel Extreme Masters Major. And man, that last semi-final, I still got the feels for ENCE. Who'd have thought it? Were you ready for that? Were you ready? Oh, you were, I see. Well, we've got another semi-final up here on this stage. And it's between 2 teams who've gone toe-to-toe over the years. And they're going to be playing off once again for this amazing trophy, the Intel Extreme Masters Counter-Strike Trophy. One of these teams we're about to see on the stage may be lifting this time tomorrow. And when we talk about this teams, we talk about legitimately one of the best teams ever to play this game in Astralis. But they are taking on a team which could have been, and you still can argue, is the best Counter-Strike roster of all time. So let's blow this concrete UFO apart as we welcome the teams for our second semi-final here in Poland. And let's make sure we're quiet. Everyone quiet. Please welcome to the stage, MIBR! So we have got our Brazilians out ready to prove they are getting back to the best team in the world, and one step to doing that will be to beat the best team in the world. They are a band of absolute monsters. They showed it yesterday. Please welcome to the stage, it's Astralis! It's standing room only in the Spodek. 1 million people watching online. Who's winning this? Is it MIBR? Is it Astralis? One more time. Is it MIBR? Or is it Astralis? It's semi-final time, baby. Let's get it on!
And OJ Borg said it best, and we're going to have to reiterate that point even harder. 1 million people watching online during that last one. And for all members here in the arena, in the Spodek itself, this is do or die time for both of these teams. And we're going to be witnessing history being made right here, right now.
And I think all of those 1 million people are in for a treat here. The last 8 maps MIBR has played against the Astralis, and yes, the rosters have changed a little bit from MIBR. 5 16-14s, 2 double overtime games, and 1 16-10. Every single game is pretty much close.
Yeah, and dare I say that MIBR is a better team now than they were in those games, right?
Yes.
I think you're right. I think this is going to be close. It's also going to be a big test for MIBR. We talk about them. Are they back? Can they potentially fight against a team like Astralis? Can they potentially be the best team in the world again? I guess this game will be a sign for the times. It will be a great question. It will be one of those games that's going to sort of like dictate the rest of the season for MIBR.
Right, sort of even flashback to Marseille when we saw Astralis lift the trophy there, and then the rest of the year kind of plays out just how they would have wanted to. They've already hoisted the Grand Slam, and now they're on their way to trying to pick up a trophy here at the Major. They've got one stop, though. It's going to be MIBR in their way. Astralis, no doubt about it, a favorite going into any matchup that they go into, but pound for pound, could this be a different story overall?
It definitely could be. I mean, MIBR is constructed totally opposite to Astralis, right? They have someone super aggressive, like Jacob said, in Fur, as a rifler. You know, Astralis doesn't really have that, in my opinion. MIBR doesn't really have someone like Zipix. You know, I guess you might consider Cold Zero that player, but he's more of like a hybrid opper. So the teams are far different. Device way more passive than Fallen at opping. This is just such an interesting bout.
Glaive being the in-game leader for Astralis as a rifler, Fallen being the in-game leader for MIBR as an AWP player. 2 different various styles of Counter-Strike is going to be displayed, Trace.
We're going to be able to see that all on display here within a matter of moments, but right now I need to tell you to get involved for the Mountain Dew Amped Game Fuel Power Play. And if you want us to break something down, go ahead and use hashtag Game Fuel Power Play. We're going to dive right into that, of course, after the matchup, after the carnage is all set in place, and after everything gets going here, because it does look like we're about ready to kick it off. I want to ask you guys where you stand in the series now. I need to get some win conditions or some sort of indication on which side you're falling on here.
I mean, it's literally impossible to pick against a team like Astralis, against any team they play. But this is, in my opinion, the best chance. The map pool of MIBR is perfect to knock out someone like Astralis.
I definitely agree. I need to see Fallen come back to life. I need to see Fallen from 2016, Fallen from 2017, going toe-to-toe with what is maybe the best player in the world, or at least the second best player in the world in Device. You need Fallen to step up. You need him to lead by example. Otherwise, it's going to be tough for MIBR. That said, though, Fallen likes to perform on big stages, so why not?
And you guys have both been to the big stages here. And really quickly, I want to get some words from you as to the emotion that you have to be considering here. These guys are veterans. They've been in this situation too. But that doesn't change the fact that the heart's flurrying.
I mean, let's be real, Trace. I have not played or won in nearly as many tournaments as these teams.
Trying to give you that advantage there, Sean.
I would probably be shaking up there right now still, but I'm sure these teams have put in a tremendous amount of time for this exact moment, and you saw what it meant to a team like Na'Vi actually going out they will be heartbroken when whoever loses this semifinal.
This is what they live for. This is why they practice. This is why they spend so many hours at home bettering themselves at the game. They want to be at that stage and they want to perform in front of the crowd, Trace. So they are definitely ready for it.
Well, Inferno and Train will have to come after Overpass. That's provided we make it to all 3 maps, because that's where we're going to be starting. Astralis on that CT side, and well, there's nothing more to be said from our end. I think everybody in the entire world is ready for this semifinal. MIBR versus Astralis, and well, the windup couldn't be any better as I throw it right on down to the commentators and Jason O'Toole and Vince Hill. Take it away, boys.
Thank you, gentlemen. Astralis and MIBR, the hope of Brazil, the juggernauts of Denmark, going head-to-head here on Overpass to open this up. A spot in the grand finals on the line. It couldn't be better. Championship pedigree on both teams. And what a tall task we have for the Brazilians. Pistol round now. Utility on Taco and Fallen. They're going to go towards Underpass. It's a stack towards the B-bomb site for Astralis. You imagine they'd want to get aggressive and find some information. It's a lot of manpower on that side of the map for the moment.
Dupree was having a feel up mid, now going to be backing away. But no presence in connector. So the Brazilians making a lot of ground already. Not a huge amount of utility for Astralis either, just the one smoke. And now MIBR starting to make a move up. Dupree's going to take first form of contact, more than likely. Did he just catch a glimpse of Fur? He definitely has now. Going to look to try and back away. MIBR can't get to it. Bit of a stalemate so far.
That's fine. That's exactly what MIBR wanted. Force the defense back. Make sure Dupree cannot gather too much information, but he's re-aggressing. He wants to make sure, and Zivic's in a position just to try and hear some noise. The footsteps out of the door, and he's got it. Glaive is going to be under pressure. Drops the smoke. That utility usage is so good. Opening kill for Glaive, and he's using the smoke perfectly. MIBR not through yet. They're getting held back, and they're getting demolished.
Glaive with another one, but Phelps is going to answer back. The damage inflicted so heavily, but in so much time still remaining for MIBR. They could fake this. They could try and draw a couple of the CTs away and then look to try and get back onto B once again. Grenade goes in, doesn't really do a great deal of damage to coldzera. It's not going to deter him away from moving in, but Amajiska's seen him. Any rotation's going to start to come straight back to their side, but coldzera, he's picked up 20 seconds to play with, at least has control over the bomb, and a flashbang to his name, but he's going to get double peek from heaven. I'm surprised he's not dead yet. I'm surprised he's still relatively healthy at this stage of the round, and still somehow firing shots down range, but finally Astralis will punch his number and claim the first round.
And you can see Astralis there 3-on-1, just delaying and just chipping him down one bullet at a time, never committing to a fight, never giving him a chance to try and even things out. Pistol round goes their way, and that is just a taste of things to come. It's so difficult to ride the line of being aggressive enough to force utility out early. Glaive holds onto that smoke just until the perfect moment, until they know where MIBR is going to commit, and it's so difficult to make your way through that. 1-0. MIBR going to invest in this next round.
Unfortunately, seems that we've hit a tech pause. So I'd love to break down the pistol. Not too much happened.
No, device just drops out of the server. He'll be right back. They're going to fix some things up. But yeah, I mean, that's the great play from MIBR is forcing Dupree back initially in bathrooms, but when he re-aggresses and finds that information, that's one thing that you have to be aware of. These Astralis guys don't just sit back and wait. They want to know what's coming. They want to know exactly where to position their players and use their utility, and they're the best at finding that out. You have Dupree getting aggressive back in bathrooms, and he knows that it's clear. You have Zitniks in a corner to listen for footsteps at the door, and MIBR was read the whole way.
So on the lead up to this match, I believe that Device has just rejoined the server. MIBR obviously beat Renegades and NIP to come through to the semi-finals. Meanwhile, Astralis, NIP, and Renegades additionally. So it's going to be an interesting one here.
I think the fun thing, as Sean mentioned, is that MIBR playing it has a great map pool for Astralis. Overpass is the only map in the entire 7-map pool that Astralis has a losing record on if you go back to 3 months, if you go back to 6 months on LAN. This is the only map where they've shown any kind of real weakness. 2 and 4 in the last 6 months, 1 and 2 in the last 3. A perfect opportunity for MIBR to take a lead going forward into the rest of the series. Pause is over, freeze time is coming down as we speak, and you are going to see a pretty powerful investment. MIBR bought down everything they possibly could afford to fight for this second round, to try and return
will put them in a vulnerable spot, though, the Brazilians, if they were to concede this round. So they can be playing it very closely, passively for the time being. Taco has gone aggressive, though, by himself up on short side.
Going back to what the desk talked about as well, the differences in how these teams are constructed, saying there's no one to really match Fur's aggressiveness with the rifle. The only player who comes close, you'd have to imagine, is Magisk, which seems to be the X factor that this Astralis team was lacking for so long before they could become this Titan, before they could just become this machine that wins every event. They needed someone like that, and they've got it in Magisk. He's got the first kill of the round. Taco falls. coldzera quickly after over towards the door. Magisk was stellar yesterday, continuing his form here, and MIBR getting nothing done with this investment. A lot of cash is put into this purchase from the Brazilians, and they haven't even been able to find an advantaged fight.
Yeah, at the very least, I'd like to take a few weapons away from Astralis, even if they do bow out of this round. But as you say, so far it's been smooth sailing. Maybe Fur, who has been quite the beast for the Brazilians in this tournament, putting up a lot of huge stats. But Dupree is going to have the better of him from the backside. Does get one dig down, but Fur was tagged up heavily and finished off by Glaive. 25 seconds for Fallen to try and carve out something truly special with his scouts. He has seen a couple players, but they know he's got a scout. There's no real need to peek him at this stage.
Yeah, Astralis plays this so well. A tag cannot finish it off. 2-0 for Astralis. Only Dupree falls. Astralis is going to be very happy with that. None of the rifles as well. Just an SMG they lose. And MIBR is going to have to spend around with just the Glocks before they can get into things.
Excellent hold by Magisk against the Force Buy. As a result, we're going to have an eco. They could afford a few pistols, maybe a deagle in the hands of Fur. We saw him land a frag in the round prior, and he's going to pick it up. So a bit of firepower, but nothing to write home about. And Astralis taking connector control instantly, pushing 2 players in there. They have device to watch from bathrooms additionally.
Here's that aggression from Magisk, and he's going to find Taco again. That's going to be a battle that you imagine we'll see throughout this game, throughout this half, I should say, as Taco is going to be in that position to kind of hold on to the option of the B bomb site for MIBR. Oh, Dupree's in a sticky situation, goes for the peek, gets the kill on a Phelps. No one going down for Astralis this time, and they're going to hunt down this last kill. One tag from the Deagle, and Glaive finishes him off. Quick 3-0, efficient 3-0. But now we get the AK-47s out for MIBR on the offense.
Yeah, efficient, as you say, only 3 kills. AK-47s, Astralis not going to take any chances, showing respect, upgrading to AUGs and the M4. It's going to be no AWP in the hands of MIBR, couldn't afford one.
Device has one, though, and he can be so deadly on this map. Taco towards that B bomb site. Phelps going to go in the underpass. 3 players mid, and they're going to triple nade Device, and he's lucky to get away. Even Magisk is forced back. So early advantage to MIBR in this round. That is a great read. Magisk, he's being very bold considering his health.
That's well worth the investment of the grenade. Phelps, Fallen, and coldzera will take a chunk of damage, and they're going to turn tail and run. It leaves Phelps by himself in connector. There is a smoke blocking off the vision, but Magisk is perched up. Phelps very close to being found there. That would have been his life becoming forfeit. In the meanwhile, though, he has been boosted, so if Phelps were to spray through the wall, he would do a lot of damage at this stage.
That's how Zipnix took the damage that he's already taken from spam through the smoke, through that board as well. So MIBR going to go for some bathrooms control, and there's finally Phelps not ready for that boost. Damage is converted into a frag, and Astralis have a 1-man lead. MIBR still really passive on this map. 40 seconds left we're coming up on, and they haven't gained a whole lot of control. They haven't tested much of anything. Device has that low HP, but Dupree just drops a smoke now. That's going to run the clock down even more. This is going to be so tough, and I think MIBR is going to be forced to rotate back towards the B bomb site. Strategically, they're being outplayed.
That's where Glaive and Magisk are waiting for them. That's exactly what's going to happen. Can the crossfire hold firm, or will B become their 2? Grenades being exchanged, all funneling through the choke point, but Fallen is going to be able to get the kill alongside Fur. Things opening up nicely for the Brazilians, but they only have 8 seconds left. They've got to get on the side. The bomb's been dropped out from Zipex. They're not going to be able to get there in time. Dupree just has to survive, and the round will be going to Astralis. Time itself the enemy.
That's tough. MIBR had all the frags they needed, and that one kill that comes out that puts the bomb on the floor, MIBR could not recover. And that is something, remember, if you go back to the Legend stage, when we first saw this MIBR lineup played, very, very slow rounds that punish them so much. They cannot get into that habit with Astralis, because you know Astralis is going to save all the nades they have. And that is some intensity early on in the series, only 4 rounds in. Timeout called by MIBR to talk things over. I think we even heard Fallen touching on that, a few rounds early in the event, getting tentative, getting a little bit scared, waiting for aggression from teams that never came. It chewed time off the clock, and it happens again here.
I do wonder if Device is going to go for that quick peek again. Last round, he got a barrage of grenades greeting him down to about 30 health.
That'll be a trick I imagine MI brings out every few rounds. You never know when you're going to catch him there, but you want to at least train him to think, say, listen, if you want to go for that peek, it's fine, but you want him to think that he's going to be eating 2 to 3 grenades every time he does that. He might choose to jump up towards party instead to avoid those nades. Or he might choose to just push forward because he knows the buy might be low due to not falling before round time is over. Magic's still aggressive.
Such an aggressive player, confidence oozing, coursing through his veins. That might be our work positioning for a fast push, but now slowed down. Now we're going to pull the trigger. Now they're going to be coming straight out. Thick and fast onto the site. Glaive again has to try and hold, but he's not going to be able to do it. Taco finds his head and takes him down a peg. Zipex can't really do much from this position either. They're trying to plant the smoke. This is where Major's position to be everything but Fallen is bodyguarding his teammates. And with Astralis having Dupree on the other side of the map, they may just set up to save.
That's a nice, simple take. Not a lot of utility for a full set piece, and MIBR just finds the timing. One pop flash over, get in before the Molotovs can be dropped by the defense. Glaive gets caught. More importantly, MIBR realizes we haven't encountered a whole lot of resistance getting into this site. Keep your eyes on the flanks. Magic's aggression doesn't pan out. And Astralis plays it smart with these last 2 weapons. No reason to get close to going for this. Keep the AWP in Device's hands. He doesn't have money to rebuy it. First round, MIBR is in the semifinals with 1.
With the save gun, they have an opportunity to come back into this round. It would be incredibly scarce in terms of a buy, though. Dupree could drop Major's 3.7k. Do they want to go for it? You betcha. They're going for the full buy here, Astralis. This will put them down to very little money. So MIBR's golden opportunity to get back into this map, early doors, crack down the Danes. He's going to include another op, of course, save. No kits, however, which is surprising considering that Dupree has over $1,200.
Oh, here's some aggression for you from Astralis, though. This is what MIBR would be looking out for, but they're not actually have eyes on it. No one's in underpass. Glaive is going to keep pushing towards the ladder. Even though Phelps has control, this could be so tough. This could catch a number of MIBR players off guard, and he flanks around towards the B bomb site. He's going to have all the information. Glaive is making a god-tier play. Will the timing treat him well?
Oh, Full-On is coming back towards him.
That's the bomb as well. It's going to be on the floor. Now they have to recover. Coldzair is there, and Glaive wanted the Molotov. He wanted to delay a little bit longer. It's not going to happen.
Phelps going to get the upper hand of Dupree. Just turns around. Shimmies out of position. So MIBR have the player advantage. It's been a strange old round with Glaive flanking and becoming the flankee. And still 50 seconds at disposal for the T's. In no great rush.
Any piece of information Phelps can find here is valuable. One footstep made, and there it is. He heard at least one footstep. He might call that out as a drop. He might say there's 2 players here. Waiting for that push. Fur in the stairs. Going to try and apply a little bit of pressure on towards a fake smokes, fake flashbangs. Might pull Magis back for a moment. Might make him hesitate. Zipnix is going to be under so much pressure. He's so blind. Now he's recovered. The UMP gets nothing done. It's Magis to hold on.
And just a FAMAS. You'd love to have the Augur and M4, any kind of upgrade, maybe not required. Device is finding headshots. But Fur is 2. Magisk gonna take a bunch of damage, and coldzera finishes off the rest. There was a fleeting moment where he thought maybe Astralis could get back into the round, but it was quickly shut down.
Device even trying to turn to save that up, not able to get out fast enough. Nice peek from coldzera. You have to know if you're playing against Device, when he's in those situations, he doesn't even consider going for the 1-on-3s. They prioritize the AWP on the Astralis side of things. They'll be able to have it in the next round. But MIBR have withstood the early obstacles, the early pressure. They forced Astralis back into a save. This is a really nice start to the offensive half.
A one-way ticket to a bunch more rounds, you'd have to expect. Just the Desert Eagle really stands between them. Not going to be a 5-player stack either. dupreeh by himself.
It's not just a deagle, it's a deagle in dupreeh's hands, which in this stadium, at this event, has done some incredible things in the past.
He's going to have to add another one to the arsenal of plays if Astralis want to pick up this round. A lot of presence over on Banana, no one long. Zipex has made a move back towards Bank.
This is a nice, safe call for going up against a low economy. Out towards long, where you have the advantage of range with the AK-47s, clear some things out, move across the map. You know they'll be playing with just pistols. And Fur hears the bullets whizzing past, but they haven't cleared bathrooms just yet. And with this aggression from dupreeh and Device, they'll know that the hit is not forthcoming. Fur turns into a lurker watching the flank. The rest of his team rotating around to the B bomb site, which for the moment is empty, is void of defense. This is the most basic presence you can have from Glaive. And now with Zipnix rotating back, they get a bit more aggressive with it, but nothing to fight with.
Oh, headshots are being connected though from Heaven. Gonna keep them on the back foot. They can't afford to charge in just yet, but now that the herd has been thinned out somewhat from Taco, much more doable. Bomb planted. AK-47 was picked up by dupreeh, who will be very happy to hold on to that on long, and he is the last man standing. He has no interest in even attempting this. AK-47 would be a very nice bonus out of this round.
I wonder if MIBR is actually going to be dedicated to this hunt. And no, they're pausing far back, so dupreeh should be able to keep this AK-47. Not going to go for anything. So a third round, 3 in a row for the Brazilians as they recover. The round they had, they gained access to the B bomb site, ran out of time. They didn't flinch, they didn't blink, they came right back at it, right at that B bomb site. And they've got 2 rounds off the back of that. But another buy coming in for Astralis, and this AK, as we saw yesterday, has economic implications for the future. Will help them very much if they get into another tough spot.
Yeah, kept them going against NIP for 2 or 3 rounds longer than it probably should have. So every little helps when it comes to saving guns. Gonna be a full purchase behind it. Couple of Orgs in play already. Zipex is gonna pick up the third. And Device once again has the AWP. He's pushed mid twice. This time, due to his spawn, gonna be more passive. So it's only dupreeh that's going to move in towards Connector by himself for the time being. And the grenade's going to force him back. Going to be taking bathroom control instead. Something that may start to play in the back of MIBR's mind, though, with that Glaive flank that we saw a few rounds prior, is having no one around playground or long. They are giving up a lot of the map here, and Overpass is a map the CTs can play very aggressively on.
Yeah, I mean, the next question that MIBR has to ask themselves is how likely do they think a push like that comes out? Obviously, the long one we'll see at some point. But I don't think we'll see Glaive pushing through that underpass too frequently in this half. It's a nice boost from that. Just, again, just so much information being gained. Here we go, dupreeh close up behind the smoke. I think MIBR wants to go through this. They're going to wait for it to fade. Now walking in dupreeh with the off angle, sees the shadow. It's not good enough. Phelps immediately dispatches him, and the AUG must hold on. Zipnix must hold on, but the Flames are going to force his hand. Behind the smoke now and waiting, and he's going to try and stop this plan. Is anyone from MIBR going to watch it? When is the pounce from Zipnix?
Waiting for the backup to arrive, I think. You'd love to have some flashes precede the push, but they're not there.
And Zipex is going to get evenly traded out. Device lends him a hand. They only have the one kit and one smoke in play, though. There is a Molotov in the hands of Coldzera, and Fallen is watching the angle. There is the Molotov being tossed out. This is where the smoke may need to be used, and Device is going to get the upper hand onto Fallen. Just when MIBR thought this round was safe, things are going horribly wrong. But Coldzera with 2 gets traded out by Device, who's going to hold on to the bomb. And he's going to get the defuse. Astralis will move 2 rounds in the lead.
That is a nasty shot from Device on Fallen with the up. What a very narrow angle to take for that fight, and Fallen expected it a little bit wider. Beautiful, beautiful job from Astralis to recover, but that's the kind of loss you're fine taking if you're MIBR. You get the plant, you get 4 players down. The money for Astralis is so low. It's gonna be on the verge of another reset right there. That's a thing of beauty. And Astralis calls a timeout. They know the implications of this round. They must win it. MIBR can build up such a lead so quickly on this offensive half if they can reset Astralis one more time here.
It was an excellent retake, but as you say, Astralis still vulnerable. Still well and truly up against it, economically speaking. Zipex is just going to have a UMP in this round. Firepower will favor MIBR. Grenades also will favor the Brazilians. All to play for. A linchpin moment potentially on this half. Heavy stack on B as well for Astralis, having a lot of faith in Dupree to not overextend and get himself killed. And he will start to back away now, back onto the A side. Meanwhile, we're gonna have a triple stack potentially in play. The Danes stacking over, looking towards the T side. Can't see anyone just yet, though.
They have to do something to get an advantage. The nice thing about that boost, the information it gathers means they don't have to spend utility in those choke points. But Taco has been way more aggressive than anyone's expected, but he misses his chance. Dupree gets back just in time. The nade does great damage, so does the tap away, and that busts up the stack over towards the B site. It may feel promising for MIBR. Some utility being expended, but not yet from Astralis, just the HE grenades. And you can see, even those they're holding on until it's a full commitment. This is dangerous, though. 4 players from the defense are here, and MIBR have telegraphed this just a bit. They might need to break this up, but they're so dedicated.
Dupree holding the angle, but Taco finds him, shuts him down. Another smoke there to stall a little bit longer. Zipex with the aforementioned UMP is putting each and every bullet to use. He's about to get pushed momentarily. Once that smoke clears, it's going to be 3 Brazilians breathing down his neck. Phelps slightly off on the spray, but Coldzera and Fur both chip in for kills. It leaves it to Magisk. He's looking for carnage, but he's not going to get it. He's on the receiving end of all the damage. Device next up to the plate. Can he deliver? No! Fur from Bank is going to put this round in MIBR's back pocket. And Astralis are broken down once more.
What a battle from MIBR to get in. Astralis got over there in time. They knew what was coming. 4 players at the bomb site, still can't stop it. Great entries, great job from Phelps. Even though he doesn't get the kill, the damage, the attention occupied. And when you take that long to get into a site, you're gonna be prepared for the early retake from Astralis. It doesn't pan out, so investment again. Upgraded into CZs, the scout on Device, some armor. But MIBR poised to have a punishing T-half.
Absolutely, it was a great start for Astralis, but the economy gradually trickles away. Magisk, Desert Eagle in hand. Gonna send a chill down MIBR's spine, but that has been swept away thanks to Fur's double. Zipex is going to get 1, too aggressive by Fur, walks out on the wrong side of the smoke. That is also an AUG now picked up. This is starting to get a little bit slippery for the T's. They've got plenty of time, but no bomb plant forthcoming and having to go back out into the open. There is also a scout for Device. We know he can land headshots. Dupree's making a move around the side. Taco has been tagged now down to 56. This is getting very sketchy indeed. I believe Dupree caught a player monster, but he doesn't want to show his hand too early. He'll take far too many bullets at this range with the CZ. He wants to get up close and personal. He's giving information, he's feeding information to the rest of his team. They know that they're completely committed to the B site at this stage. They can just stay in position and wait. The pressure is on MIBR to push this. They've got a Molotov and a flash, but Taco is going to alleviate it, drilling into the head of Dupree. Now Device and Zipex have got to pull off something truly memorable. Molotov down, just making sure no one's at the backside of the site. It funnels Zipex into the wall-bangable positions now. 15 seconds, Fallen's been tagged too. Zipex and Device both coming with guilt, and Device has done it again. There will be carnage in Katowice, and Astralis regain a 2-round lead.
The patience from Astralis is just unbelievable. No one moving, and you're exactly right. Dupree had all the info. I'm amazed MIBR wasn't more aggressive about that. The problem was with that scout above, they did not have a smoke to block them off. They did not have a way to get into this site. Zipnik's had that AUG for so long, just waiting. Magisk wants another grand final. He wants another crack at the trophy. What a rebound for the Danes. And now both teams low on money. Both teams desperate.
From a position where it looked like MIBR would be leaping towards a rock-solid T-half, it's back up in the air again. Anybody's ball game. Neither team has a huge amount of grenades, and Taco going to take the initiative, but he's been Molotov down instantly. However, Magisk baited into that peak with a UMP of all weapons.
I don't think he believed that there would be an AWP on the map. And you talked about this earlier, this aggression out towards long. Dupree's position is so strong. Again, can gather intel, but more importantly, he's at such an off angle, but Fallen sees it coming. A double kill now. What a beautiful read from Fallen. He's opened up this map, and now Astralis, how do you get into it? The next call is Device to get aggressive. You don't see this too often. He's more of a passive AWPer, and he's gonna get punished. Fur's able to find him. Device didn't even know it was coming. Zipnik's position is called out, and MIBR is creeping. They're constricting upon this position. Zipnik's has to hold, and he has to maintain his aggression. He has to go for it. They line up for him. coldzera takes massive damage, but shuts him down.
Now it comes down to Glaive. The brains behind the operation. Can he also be the brawn? coldzera gonna get the plant down. Just 13 health to his name. Fallen, 48. That smoke is going to do so much work for MIBR now, though. Glaive is going to either have to wait this out, which really dwindles away time, or push through. He's going to wait. He's hoping that one of MIBR push this, but there's no reason for them to do this at all. He's just playing the waiting game, hoping for a mistake. Now the smoke is cleared. He's going to start to make a move in. coldzera's been spotted and killed, but at this stage,
oh dear.
It's so difficult. They're actually not in great position to hold off this plant. Oh, the spray! Glaive has played this one so well, going to hold on to the site. No, Taco! No. He's whipping the hot spray! No. The bomb is going to go down. It might be able to pick up the round, but it was so very close.
I cannot believe he tried to do that. The balls on that man. So smart. The smoke with the spam through. That could not have been much closer, and Glaive almost steals one away.
The thing is, even though they concede the round, that's all of MIBR died with him as well. So they're going to have to replenish all of their weapons. You can see here at the end, Glaive did so much work. But the positions weren't great for MIBR with the bomb planted on truck. Excellent read onto Fallen. How close was this?
This had to have just been so incredibly... I cannot believe that happened, but what a heroic effort out of Glaive. Up on top of the truck, that spam wasn't even coming close. He wasn't going to get touched. MIBR get away with one. They started to fall back a little too early and out of position to really stop that plant. Fallen, you could see, with the AWP and the smoke, he had to pull the night out. Another chance for MIBR to catapult a pretty strong lead in this game, but another force buy out of Astralis. They just won this previously. It'd be so gutting for MIBR if they cannot convert this, if it happens again.
Both teams fully investing. Glaive gonna decide to just push straight in with Magisk. This is where the extra bullets for the Galil could actually work out for Taco, but the lack of firepower will not. Glaive gets the headshot. That is an assault rifle now switching hands. And the player advantage. But they've shown their hand. Dupree from the shadows takes Coldzera's head clean off his shoulders.
Oh, and look at the use of the smoke to fall back. Fallen doing what he can to spray through. They have to get into this A site. Oh, Device is caught off guard. Phelps has that. But now they're crunched. They're pushed forward enough. But Astralis is on both sides. They have to fight their way out in every direction. And Astralis now backing off, letting the plant go down, getting in position for the retake. MIBR not out of danger whatsoever.
Grenade chipped Fur as well, so he's in pistol range. Glaive did so much work in the round prior, is going to be called upon once again. His brethren are falling all around him, but Glaive is going to go in for one. It's a 2-on-2. Magisk, long range, taps the head off Fallen, but he doesn't have a kit, Magisk, at this stage. Still a little bit of time, though, to try and get back onto the site, but he's not entirely sure where Fur is. Oh, this round should be done now. MIBR just got to play the time. Yes, Magisk does clean up. Not enough time to get the bomb defused, though. And Astralis will concede. We're all even at 6 apiece.
But that is, I mean, another, even in losses, Astralis is so dangerous. Look what they've done to the money of MIBR. I mean, I don't know who you're going to say is going to have the stronger buy-in. I wouldn't be surprised at all. If Astralis reads the money situation, they might invest into this round. They might just go for it. It would be a big risk for them, but there's nothing really to be too pleased about on the MIBR side. They, out of a victory, they're going to have rifles with very little utility. Coldzera is going to be on the MAC-10, so why not go for it? Again, it's only if Astralis can read it. A second timeout being taken for the Danes.
It is truly scary now for Astralis after a 4-0 lead.
They're going for it, Vince. This is great. I love this out of Astralis. They're going to challenge for this round. Neither team giving an inch in this matchup.
Has been a real battle for each and every inch of the map. Astralis consistently on the back foot. They've been sucker punching MIBR consistently. MAC-10, couple Galils, couple of AKs. Astralis have a slightly better buy than they did in the round prior. The solid flashbang, and they're going to push behind this too. Astralis going to take the fight to the T's. I believe there is actually a boost up, or at least it's coming into play. Fur peering across, looking for any information to try and execute off. If a player gets spotted here, that could be a total telegraph across to the Brazilians.
I'm pretty sure he spotted the shoulder. I mean, they still have no idea. Magisk is right on the other side of that wall, which can be the real death trap. Here he comes, moving forward. There's the deep Molotov, there's the peek. Oh, and he's giving up his position. Now it's gonna be so hard to get back. Holds the trigger. They can't turn the corner. First, Phelps is down low. Oh, the reload. That's a poor time, and Fur certainly gonna punish him. But what comes next? Phelps is low. Astralis, in a way, come out on top of that engagement.
And he stalled them for a good 20, 30 seconds, did plenty of damage to Phelps, and additionally, Astralis now have a very healthy set of grenades.
Yeah, for this much time, look at how many ways they can stall. 3 smoke still, 3 Molotovs as well. This is, MIBR is nowhere close to being out of this one. Gonna start moving up, but they have to start moving a little bit faster. Phelps with low HP might have to just sit back and watch the flank, make sure Device can't come up those stairs behind him. Dupree is alone at the A site. 25 seconds now. MIBR once again running the clock down low. Phelps, is he gonna be aware? He spots it at the last second. Doesn't get touched. And this spot, we see it so often go unchecked, and is Fur gonna go for it? Look at the time, Vince.
Just 12 seconds left. There's damage still being inflicted by grenades. Molotov starting to come down. Fur is gonna get the better of Dupree, but they're having to run over. Liquid fire, and MIBR have done it. It looked like it was gonna go the way of Astralis and the Danes, but instead, the Brazilians come out swinging right at the bitter end.
That is so much trust you have to have in your teammates if you're MIBR to run the clock down that low to make that hit work. They do it spectacularly because Astralis seemed like they had everything needed to stall that out. But now MIBR finally get an iron grip on the lead. It's 7-6, and Astralis must save for the last round. This defense has been battered and broken finally.
This is the choice of MIBR, and so far so good. Magisk riddled with bullets from Coldzera's hands. It's Zipex that has the lone deagle this time. Woo. Nice work by Taco, gets some eco, but you can only shoot what's ahead of you. He's done that with expert marksmanship. It is going the way we anticipated, though, Moses. It's been pretty smooth sailing this round for MIBR. A bit of a relaxing round after how back and forth it's been.
Time to take a breath, and what better pairing than Taco and Coldzera? So much history between those two in the way that they're able to play together and the synergy that they have. They're the ones clearing out that B bomb site. 8-6, MIBR going to try and gain a 3-round lead, but there's one last trick up Astralis' sleeve. They switch into a double up setup. It's Glaive with one, Device with the other. That's going to hurt in terms of utility and kits on those two players. The other three have plenty of nades to work with. But will MIBR expect this switch? Glaive has his towards the B bomb site. Device in bathrooms at A. Phelps is going to be the aggressor. There's Glaive. He might have spotted it out, eat some nade damage, but they have Glaive pinned down for the moment, who's got to get aggressive behind a smoking monster. A small gap in that smoke could be the end of MIBR. This position is so tough to get multi-kills from with the AWP. He might have to be aggressive.
Oh, how did that miss?
He was moving just a little bit, just one last step, threw it off. That's going to be frustrating. Oh, Fur, so fortunate to get away. The timing in his favor.
Such an important moment. Glaive narrowly misses out. Now it's up to Device, the other AWP, to pick up from where he left off. Flashback perfectly placed to force him back. He will not get any kills on the approach.
And Dupree in a supportive setup behind that smoke to make sure no one comes through for the punish. Another piece of utility, and Device wants to get in front of it. He wants to get aggressive. Fur's the only one here. No chance of a trade if Fur peeks this. There's the flashbang. He's blind. The timing doesn't work. Fur can't find him either. He's content to just force him back for the moment. And still, this march of MIBR, everyone thinks it's going to be the A bomb site. They've made it seem like the A bomb site. But Taco, he's ready to pounce. Magis just gets away. Here comes the rotation. But the angle, they never saw coming. And Phelps is going to build. Now over the top. He's picked off. But Coldzera's in with the plant. And Device, he's the last one left. It's the last round of the half, and he must go for it.
Don't peek him too many times, especially as Fur is on the prowl. He's going to be landing this flank kill unless someone beats him to the punch. And it'll be Coldzera that KOs Astralis for a 9-6 lead.
What a half from MIBR. That is an incredible run. 9-2 is the run to close that out for the Brazilians. They looked phenomenal, and they put Astralis on the back foot. We're going to a break, and we'll be right back with the end.
And I'll take it, yeah. Reminding myself to just let go. Don't wonder how far I can fall. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out. Oh, 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 I know it's alright, it's alright. Heavens are the limit now. Let's fight just one more night, one more night. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out.
MIBR went down 4-0, but a brilliant game plan gave them 9 of the next 11 rounds. They lead at half, 9-6 over Astralis, the best team in the world. MIBR's had to build their way into this event. We were wondering which was gonna show up. The lackluster team that we saw early on, or the dangerous one we saw qualify and dominate the quarterfinals. Here we are, second half begins.
This is an MIBR that has gone from strength to strength, knocking Astralis down a peg or two. But now the roles reversed, with Astralis on the aggression. MIBR falling back. They did take the early engagements. Dupree took a bit of damage, but nothing is going to stick.
The fact that Fur was the only player today, though, they couldn't be aggressive. They don't have any information of what's coming as Astralis just quickly clears out everything. Taco takes one shot, now he falls away. There's no smoke to stop this, as we saw earlier. Cold Zera over at Toxic Barrels. Him and Taco have to do everything. Phelps, whoever goes balcony is going to be smoked off. Phelps is going to get here just a half second late. Cold Zera looking down. He's going to be free. Dupree's got him. And now the battle is truly on, and Matt just builds upon it. Astralis is in so fast. They strike like lightning, and the round is over.
So aggressive by the Danes. Best possible way of coming out the blocks in the second half. Fur at least is going to claim one headshot. Oh, and a second. Beautiful flick to Glaive. Should be a drop in a bucket, though, all things considered. And indeed, Zipex will make that the case. So Astralis have picked up both pistol rounds on Overpass. And it just goes to show how dominant MIBR were on rifles, that they still lead by 2 rounds.
We'll see if they decide to use that lead to save up for rifles or if they go for it. And actually, we have our answer already. They're going to buy up the Deagle's SMG on Fur with a couple of those kills. 4 smokes to work with. MIBR look to respond in this second round. Astralis took a punch in that first half, but they don't look phased whatsoever. Calm and collected still.
And they've had their time in the corners. Onic applying the sponge, and now they're good to brawl again. MIBR, as you say, do invest into this round.
They're pretty centralized. Falling Fur close up towards stairs. Phelps right at the door. It's only Taco at B. That's the tough part, is he can't really hold along for these flanks to come to fruition. Phelps has to pounce now. He's done some damage. Taco gets aggressive in Monster. They're going to clear it the whole way, and Taco has no idea which way to look. I think MIBR just have to give up this round. Save those guns moving forward. Fallen's going to get in the fight, gets a dink, but you can see Fur wants nothing to do with it. They just try and save their weapons. They're going to be successful. They can try again in the next round with another stack.
Certainly can. Meanwhile, Fur's going to be taking a bit of an aggressive angle on the off chance that Astralis do go looking. See if they can increase their weaponry. But now strength in numbers. I think both teams will be relatively happy with this outcome. If Astralis go and send in the Map 10 or UMP, these are expendable guns, but don't really want to upgrade themselves either. So it will be 9-8. With MIBR another crack with 4 guns and Kevlar behind it.
You have to wonder how much they want to invest in terms of utility if they want to rebuy any smokes. That would hurt them in the next round. See there, Zipnix, I believe that was a record at the time of most clutches in a single event. A little bit quieter this time, but we saw his impact yesterday withstanding NIP in the quarterfinals on Dust 2. He was a big part of the puzzle, a big part of the reason why Astralis is here fighting MIBR in the semis. Dupree's gonna take the aggressive, he pulls out, oh Lord, the jumping Mac 10. Rarely seen, but very effective, and he's gonna go for another.
Gonna have to be pardoned by the clutch minister himself after that filth. In the meanwhile, though, MIBR have lost a second player, all stacked in connector with a smoke in their eyes. Not much they can do about this. They're gonna have to concede the bomb plant and likely the round.
Yeah, they just saved the armor at this point. I know it's not the most fun to watch, but there's no reason for them to get even close to this bomb site. No reason for them to go for it. That's $1,000 that you don't have to spend in the next round. That is not a high percentage fight, and he almost gets a little love tap right at the end. Now positioned to get some exits. If any of the AKs turn this corner, actually there's only one, so there's not really any weapon that Astralis has except for Magisk that MIBR would necessarily care for.
Yeah, they want to upgrade to the Orgs and the AWP if they can get their hands on it. Glaive gonna be going in alongside Dupree and Device. Actually, there's four. Make that all five of Astralis waiting around the corner. They're gonna be looking to try and push in, but actually they're just holding back and Fallen peeks into his demise.
Yeah, they really, again, they really don't care. There's no need for them to take any of those weapons away. They know the next round is going to be upgraded, so Fallen gets pulled into a small mistake there. That extra $1,000 that he just gave up would have been utility, would have been a kit. Instead, he's going to go for the AWP, and he'll have the chance for armor, and he almost has to buy head armor because he knows they have UMPs, so no nades for Fallen. All due to that death right at the end. That AWP will be out towards long. Couple UMPs and AK-47s, three-man stack for MIBR at this bomb site, and Astralis wants to get there quick, will at least gain some control and have a point of aggression.
Magisk has had a phenomenal major so far, continuing in a very positive way. 112 ADR to his name, 17 kills. Lack of utility is going to become more and more of a burden for MIBR as the seconds tick forward. And Astralis now going to start to make moves through Monster. Dupree also laid in wait. Wait for that red mist to descend. Phenomenal when it comes to entry fragging, and he may be called upon. Unleashed. Here come the wall of smoke's going to blot out the sun for MIBR. They're going to look to try and counteract with some flashbangs, but they're taking them. Additionally, Zipex still waiting to move in. Now the green light has been punched. Now they're going to start to follow their way onto the site. MIBR can't really do anything to stop this plan. And it's going to be a double peek. They've actually sent the bomb there. Why have you done that, Astralis? You have shot yourself in the foot. Zipex close range gets bested by Phelps, and it's all gone horribly wrong. But Astralis going to hold on for dear life. They've got Dupree to play with. He's going to try and take the fight to Fallen. Close range, and Fallen puts him down with the AWP.
You're exactly right. That is a mistake you don't often see out of Astralis. That bomb turning the corner was brutal. That eats so much time and so many players they have to send to go retrieve it and try and recover the situation. MIBR's loving that. A gift especially because they weren't even fighting for the bomb site. They weren't even fighting to stop the plant. Astralis just hands him one on the silver platter. Still the money is low for the defense. Still MIBR must win 2 in a row. Fallen still with the AWP. And a very, very strong buy for Astralis, and likely another one in the next round if they need it. Some calculated aggression, a calculated risk. Glaive's brought down. Dupree, again, going to be aggressive towards sandbags, waiting for Cold Zero to fall back. That smoke is going to take away the opportunity. Still no pressure towards the two defenders on the other side of the map. Fallen and Fur haven't seen anything in bathrooms. There's a smoke at the moment, but they're not going to care about that whatsoever. They're waiting to see members of Astralis.
There was a Molotov toss down as well on Banana just ahead of Fur, but it's not going to push him out of position just yet.
This defense at B, they don't have a deep angle over towards Monster, and actually, again, it might be a similar scenario. If the utility is used and that hit comes in again, they might not be able to actually fight for this bomb site. This boost. Just a little bit of vision, and there's the bomb. Great shot from Phelps. And look at all the Molotovs. MIBR, miscommunication, they double it up, but they won't care. It still does its job. It holds off the hit just a little bit longer.
Yeah, it stalls, allowing MIBR to now start to rotate round. Fallen is making a move. In the meanwhile, Fur's going to hold position in case they try and rotate up through connector. They had enough time. Taco pushed on the back of the site with the MP9. SMG up close and personal, looking to tear and rip through the flesh of Astralis. It's going to be Phelps that goes in on Zipex, but Dupree and Device this time not going to be making the same mistake twice. Coldzera tries to peek and stop the bomb plant, but it's going to be the cost of his life. And now Fallen waiting to sting alongside Fur. Trying to make a move in. Magisk holding the close angle. The off angle, not one that you necessarily peek first and foremost. Fallen, if he peeks the barrel of his gun's gonna let him off, but Fallen, strike he shall. The affliction begins to spread, and it's all on Device. Does he have the cure? So far, so good. It's gonna stall more time away. Fallen with his organ have to land a headshot. Device will not miss. Astralis will pick up a 10 and a 4K for Device.
He couldn't save the op at the end, and that's shattered the money. MIBR needed to hold on to that, and they just couldn't do it. What a nice job from Device. 4 kills from those sandbags, and that is a huge round. Astralis can regain the lead off the back of it because MIBR simply has nothing to battle with. And again, MIBR prioritizing surviving and keeping control of the water. They're not actually trying to stop this bomb going down, and this time Astralis makes the most of it. A lot of freedom for those Astralis players to be able to take the angle, as you saw from Device, up towards the balcony. Investment from MIBR due to the fact they would have had a double save. This might keep the op out of Fallen's hands moving forward. He saved what he could at 850.
Taking the aggression hasn't yielded anything as of yet. Just the one smoke to play with, and time again, we have seen Dupree get up close on short. Fur's been caught, but Magisk is there to avenge his former teammate. What a 1D by Fallen. That's also the bomb dropped and an AK in his hands. Fallen not able to chime in with another kill, but he is giving information to the rest of his team. I believe that was aim punch that completely neutralized him. Couldn't get his cross anywhere near the player.
No, but you're right. I mean, that's opened up the map as well, and now Astralis have to be careful. Anyone from MIBR can be anywhere on this side of the map. They have not been here, and you can see that's why they're clearing it so closely. Taco's going to start hearing these footsteps pretty soon, but they slow it down. 45 seconds left. Taco, the only one here. I think he's just missed the timing for information, but it's all right. Coldzera still on the bomb site. The nade usage is going to give it up, and Coldzera must hold on, playing behind the smoke, trying to play to stop the plant. Getting in position, that's a nasty off angle. Even Zipnix doesn't consider it. Dupree can swing it towards water, but there's 3 players, and Phelps is going to start flanking around as well. The timer is on for Astralis. They're starting to get suffocated here. Big kill for Dupree. Now checking the flank. Magisk gets 1. They must know Taco is around. He has not been able to get into this fight just yet, but look at the time. Taco can stop this. He tags him. They're so low. 1 will do it for each player, and he can't. Magisk gets him first. Somehow pulls Astralis out of a deep hole in the round. And they take the lead 11-10. Offense is reigning supreme on Overpass.
As is Magisk, 20 kills to his name. So impactful in that round, as you say. He really dug Astralis out of a horrible position. They regain the lead, but more importantly than that, MIBR's finances are in the bin once again. This should be a 2 or 3 round lead opening up for Astralis now. At the business end of the first map. And remember, this was MIBR's pick.
And it's the weakest map in Astralis' pool by win-loss record. So if you're MIBR, you're feeling like you must have this. Very passive setup for Astralis. They were just punished in the previous round by some aggressive play towards Fountain. They do not want to go through that hell again. Phelps and Coldzera are going to join up with Fallen and Fur. We haven't seen a lot of emphasis on this part of the map. That's a perfect peek from Device that allows him to get away. No chance for rebuttal, going to go for more. Hasn't seen it behind the tree. There's the dink. Oh, and Fur. You want to talk about how good Magisk is playing. Fur has been stellar, 18 kills. Leading the way for his team. A little 2-tap there, and Magisk, a chance again. Coldzera is going to call for a teammate over. Magisk is committed, but he's spraying as well. Phelps is down for the count, and they know exactly where Fur is. No chance he gets away. Stuck in the open. It's going to be a 12th round for the Danes. The chances for MIBR down the stretch are dwindling.
Now may be the time for a tactical timeout if you're MIBR. This is such an important, influential round, but they're not going to go for it. They feel confident in their decision, and that's going to be an AWP, 3 AWPs, and M4. Here's the spray control from Magisk. Super solid. That does mean, Jason, they're going to have no kits, no Molotovs or HEs.
This is tough. This is where you want your superstars to step up. Fallen with that AWP in particular. Have him find you a pick. This round is so important for MIBR. Astralis have largely ignored the A bomb site and even just trying to clear out bathrooms. They haven't even messed with it. They don't even want to go at Fallen. This might be a round where they switch that up.
Oh, unlucky for Fallen, only landing the leg shot. Magisk spirals down to 16 health. This is where HEs would be a godsend from MIBR to finish him off, but they don't have any. Just 2 smokes left on their belt too. That kill could have been so important.
What a player to get a leg shot on though. Magisk has been insanely effective with his aggression. Nades raining over, but the bomb is still so far back. So Fur, he's an aggressive stance in bathrooms. He's gonna, oh, that predicted spam. Glaive, you tricky guy, and jumping over, tries to get the information and position. This has kept Phelps here at A though. Taco and Cold Zero to defend the B bomb site. That's where the hit is coming all along. Astralis have masked this so well, but Fur is getting all the needed information. Perfectly timed peek.
Flash in just a stall. Dupree's corner spins around on a swivel and lands the headshot. The Codera is holding the line, and there's Taco. A full house of frags, and Taco takes the bulk of them, gifting MIBR another lifeline.
That pop flash peek was so good. I mean, we're not going to see too much. You won't get any of the highlights. Fur gets so much information. That fake hit towards A. Fur just pushes immediately afterward, and they know it's coming B. Taco and Cold Zero don't flinch. Phelps is able to rotate back just in time because of the information gathered. If Phelps isn't there, I think they turn the corner and Taco and Cold Zero go down and they lose that round. Just at the right moment, but the ult still not out. Not in the hands of Fallen this time. Oh, right through the smoke. Fur continues his tear. MIBR looking to even things up. Again, maybe this is why Astralis has leaned towards the B bomb site so much. They took a leg shot in the previous round. Fallen wreaked havoc on them at Fountain 2 rounds ago, and here they lose Zipnix. It's been costly to venture towards these bathrooms for Astralis.
Additionally, we haven't really seen MIBR push through short side at all. So Dupree's been getting there constantly. Look at this though, Astralis making moves, making inroads over on the B side of the map. It's about to get tested. It's about to get punched. Can the MIBR hold the line? They're going to have to wipe away the flashbangs from their eyes if they're going to pull this one off. Cold Zera has been here before. They're anticipating it. He somehow hasn't taken any damage though for his troubles, but now he's given his position away. There's one. The Glaive's going to counteract instantly. His bomb still ticking away. Device has been found from Phelps. The player advantage now falls in the Brazilian's hands. That's a perfect smoke. It's going to keep Glaive and Dupree at bay. The bomb is being defused. No one's going to peek it. MIBR are going to get the defuse in the smoke. And there's nothing Astralis can do about it.
Could have gone for the spam, but in a 2-on-3, you're hoping they get off it and give you a chance. A nice timely smoke, and Phelps, as much as we talk about Fur's aggression, he is very aggressive in situations like that. Gets the wide angle on Monster before they expected it. Astralis must take a timeout. 12-12, it's all tied up. This is the last buy they've got for the moment. If they don't win this, they'll be out. They fought so hard. They took MIBR's best punch. They start this half on a 6-1 run. And slowly but surely, MIBR is wrestling control away from them. And they need it back. 19 kills on Cold Zera and Fur. 22 on Magisk for Astralis.
It's been cultured Counter-Strike back and forth. so little to determine between the two teams.
There's a small pocket, a small corner of Brazilian fans powering this entire arena. 12-12. Round 25 coming in hot, and it's going to be fast-paced. Astralis is not going to slow down.
Slowing down for nobody. coldzera in a different angle this time around. He's going to be spraying. Oh, and two. Zipex and Dupree have both been sprawled out of the round, but now the yo-yo of Counter-Strike will start to swing in their favor. The pendulum is striking in the faces of MIBR. Third and 1 on 3. In the blink of an eye, this round goes away from them. After coldzera with a double. What can Fur feasibly do? He's got some grenades, he's got a kit. And the AK-47. He's been playing lights out Counter-Strike here at Katowice. The Mages will not allow him to pass. Astralis regain the lead. What a call.
You have to admire Astralis' ability to go from cold and calculated Counter-Strike into just brute force in that fashion. Even with coldzera getting the opening 2 kills, usually that stalls out a hit of that speed. A hit like that usually just ends, but Glaive, oh, MIBR coming out of door too fast. They don't check the angles, and Taco just couldn't hold on without those reinforcements. They were so desperate for that. And now MIBR out of money. Gonna save, they'll buy in the next. They'll fight to keep Astralis off map point for as long as possible.
How many times has Dupree gone for this identical play? He's constantly on short side of B. I mean, this round there's not much MIBR can do about it, but he's doing it when they've got rifles too. Taco tagged up first. Is the buddy system on long again? Did yield a kill last time around, but Astralis aren't interested. They only have B in their minds. At this point, A may as well not exist. There's not a great deal that MIBR can do about this. They do have the majority of their players over at the backside of their site, but Glaive's found himself some prey, and he will bite down hard.
And this MIBR defense at the B bomb site really has not adapted a whole lot throughout this half. They keep trying to play around these smokes that Astralis is putting up, playing on the right side of the bomb site, trying to delay, trying to look over. And Astralis, these past few times they've attacked there, have read that perfectly. It's going to be 14-12. It's going to be Astralis with money to outlast MIBR down the stretch. It's going to be one last strong buy from MIBR in the next round, and they must take everything from it.
Phil was hoping to maybe land a headshot and get one of these players killed off the detonation, but won't be happening. He takes a bit of damage for his troubles, but Astralis 14-12 in the lead. And as you perfectly highlighted, Moses, this could be all for MIBR. They have got to come out. They have got to start to get a streak of their own coming in.
They have everything, well, not everything, but they have a lot of what they could want. Fallen on the AWP is one of them. The biggest thing they're lacking is kits. They have smokes, they have Molotovs. Glaive knows exactly how to attack, exactly where to find those MIBR players. None of that matters now, though. Round 27, it all rests here for MIBR, trying to keep Astralis off map point as long as possible. And Fur's gonna get aggressive. We know he loves this. We haven't seen it too much in this half. This might be the perfect time to call this. Device looking for it, at least initially. But if Fur is never forced back, he will choose a time to pounce. He's got Fallen covering the stairs behind him. With that AWP, and Magisk might go right into it.
It's tentative. Magisk gonna take the first hit. Fallen trades against him. I believe that was a leg shot. Free kill for Fur. Patience proving to be a virtue. Does alleviate, once again, the A and mid portion of the map.
He's looking for more. Fur's getting aggressive, so I mean, he knows exactly what's coming. You imagine, I mean, Fallen's watching for the retreat up the stairwell from Astralis. It's not gonna happen. So they haven't actually been able to stack this bomb site with 4 people, which is a little bit dangerous. But coldzera, Phelps, and Taco, they should be able to hold on.
It's raining Molotovs. MIBR need to somehow hold on for dear life. Astralis aren't pushing behind this just yet, though.
They have another round of nades. They wanted the counter nades, and they got him. There's only one flashbang on Fur, but he's got this sick flank, and he's dropped!
Information gathered, though. Glaive is there. At this stage, MIBR know it's going to be a B hit. There's not enough time to rotate. but Taco's lost his head.
Oh no, oh dear, they're gonna go back. Phelps and Coldzera can call this out. They can actually stop it. Look at Fallen. He can get such a deep angle in. He's still here. He's still holding on. He's gonna take the peek. He's got Magisk. He can build. This is a big risk for Astralis, and it might be their death. It might be their doom, and Fallen is making them pay for it. Into the bomb site we go. Coldzera's arrived, and Astralis is shut down. MIBR still fights on.
It's why I said they didn't have enough time. You can't check all the angles. You can't efficiently clear out the site. And Fallen, he is so damn good. And he's always going to be a step ahead of you in positions like that.
Just right at the wrong weapon. The AWP that can take those deep angles, that can get into cover. That was brutal. One slight miscalculation from Astralis. Still chances here. Again, MIBR must build upon this. And look at the stack. They're trying to read the counter call. They're saying, Astralis, you haven't attacked this part of the map too heavily, very frequently. Now might be the time for you to change things up. You think we've been lulled into a sense of security over here. That's not to be.
An excellent call, but will the execution be up to scratch?
Fallen's not really covered for a must win this. He's got both. Device does take out Fallen, but MIBR comes out on top.
They certainly do, and there's not really much of a chance to bounce back. Fur holds on with the AWP. Magisk has been silenced. MIBR's bloodthirst not quenched just yet. UMP, not great at angles like that, but at least he's going to chip away Glaive, keep him caught in 2 minds. Now Phelps from the shadows is going to strike onto Glaive, and maybe able to double up. No, Zipex going to be able to get the kill. He does have control of the bomb, but this is certainly a telegraph play. There's also a play that was just hopping up for information. That's Taco. He's going to have his retinas burned out, but he just has to stay in position just to survive. Even if Zipex gets this bomb plant, it's going to be a 3-on-1 retake.
Call him the clutch minister. Call him the cyborg, call him whatever the hell you want. He stands between MIBR and immortality. They must find him in this moment.
Flash out into the peak, nothing forthcoming. MIBR are playing this one very cautiously. A lot of the time, though, has dwindled. Zipek's gonna find the first, but it's at the cost of 97 health, and the rest has been finished off by Fur. That's one way to deal with a clutch master. Blow his kneecaps out.
Yeah, but you can see they were giving him so much respect. They were so slow in getting into that bomb site. Almost letting him build into the clutch. A full defuse, full 10 seconds. That plant is going to help Astralis out. What a round from Fur. 4 kills. This guy is an absolute monster in this game so far. A timeout called. Round 29. What does Astralis have? We know they have one of the deepest playbooks. See them win with brute force. We've seen them win with tactics. Which option do they go with here? A perfectly called stack for MIBR on the last round. They have a very good read. As we know, Fallen is confident that he can outcall Astralis. He's got to do it one more time. 2 more times, really, but if Astralis can't win this round, they'll be so low on funds.
Looking to be charged by the effervescence of the crowd here. MIBR, Fallen has outcalled Astralis quite a few times. To be fair, they've mind-gamed themselves out a couple rounds as well, the Danes. But it all rests on this. Not great weaponry. Magisk with a deagle, Glaive with the UMP, gonna decide to just go for ruthless aggression. The Fallen, he is rock solid right now, not missing a shot.
They just spent so much utility and the life of Device to get this close. And they have nothing left in the tank. They get stalled out. Fur, I don't think he's heard these footsteps.
This angle is good for one, but not even that. Magisk perforates his head, evoking the wrath of Astralis or MIBR. That grenade chokes Coldzera and Phelps. Unbelievable damage has been inflicted already. 2 smokes in the choke points. And this is one-dimensional. MIBR don't have anyone rotating. Even if they did, Zipex is there, so he can bolster up the rest of his team if they start falling down. This is looking phenomenal for Astralis, but Fallen's going to wall bang. Magisk out of the round. Glade's going to stand tall with an AWP of his own. And now the smokes are starting to clear. Now MIBR can regroup. Now they can start to push on, especially as Glaive has been found. But it could come down to Zipex once again. Time is so low. It's looking great. They're going to stick the side. But there's Dupree! Vintage performance from him. MIBR have the round slip through their fingers.
That's an example of Fur's aggression going the wrong way. The only player dedicated into the bomb site, no crossfires set up. No one even watching for that slow peek, but Dupree wrapping around this truck is beautiful. 15-14 Astralis, they do it again and again, and it's so difficult to shut them down. They always find a way to make something work. And now look what MIBR has to fight with. Scraps. 2 SMGs, a FAMA's the most powerful gun, and 2 CZs. No kits, no utility.
They've done work with buys like this so many times in the past. But the semi-finals of a major, they have it within them to do it one more time. If they do, we're heading to overtime. 2 smokes, a HE. A mixed bag of weaponry, scraping the very bottom of the barrel, taking as much out as possible.
Even Astralis, I mean, they sacrificed 2 weapons on Magisk and Device just for the nades. Bomb's still far back, so Astralis is not ready to commit to anything just yet. Still looking for information, for intel, still just trying to gain map control. This is a battle from Fur that must be won. I don't know how he swings out wide, though. He's got to be careful. Does not want to get baited by those footsteps. Playing it intelligently for the moment. He's got Fallen to back him up. Oh, now he pulls in. Now there's the AK chiming in. Glaive doesn't blink. And Fallen, he's all alone on an island. And Glaive just playing with them for the moment. Now he knows exactly where to go. Now he knows what to call. And the A bomb site is open for business. And Astralis marching into a Map1 victory.
The slight gap with the smoke, though. Corsair is able to get one on nearly a second, but he switches around. He felt pressured, and the last kill of Overpass comes in. It's going to go the way of Astralis, but by the skin of their teeth.
What a hard-fought victory. MIBR gave that everything. They could never get a hold on their CT side. They could never get comfortable with any kind of a lead. A 24 kill performance from Fur, a 23 kill performance from coldzera, it all goes to waste. It's 26 from Magisk that gives Astralis their first map. We're going to a break. When we come back, the desk is ready for you.